All right, first of all, I'd like to congratulate Truls and his entire team and all of you to be part of this Open Innovation Labs. This is a wonderful platform, and I'm going to share with you my talk, which is related to the innovation and open innovation and digital economy and digital technologies. So my background is I have been a lifelong student of technology. I have been in Silicon Valley all my life. I worked for built transistors back in 80s at National. Then I worked for Intel building microprocessors and computers and servers and data centers. Then I worked for IBM Research, where I build IT solutions and services for major sectors of economy. And from there we started this organization called SRII, that and I will discuss more details about this. My talk is going to be very much aligned to the mission for today, which is open innovation, and open innovation for what I call them disruptive digital economy. And I will elaborate the term disruptive and digital economy in my slides. Here are the thoughts I would like to share with you. First of all, I'd like to talk about digital economy. What does it really mean? Where have we come from? Where we are headed? And then I will talk about what is digital economy? What are the mega opportunities and challenges? And then we'll talk about on the subject of open innovation. What does innovation mean? There are lots and lots of books written about innovation, but I will share with you innovation as someone who builds products and technology and solutions as a much more at the ground level, or what I call them practical innovation applied. And then I'll talk about SRII, Service Research Innovation Institute. In fact, Service Research Innovation Institute was built to address all these challenges and issues. And hopefully we'll have some time for open discussions and where you can share some of your thoughts. So first of all, let's look at what we call them, what is this context where we are today? So I call them, this is a global economy. It's no longer Norway versus US versus Japan versus India. We live in a global economy, and thanks to digital technology, it has connected each one and every one of us. And I think this is just the beginning. You will see a lot more interaction, interconnections, and economy will be, again, someday nations and all the boundary will be almost immaterial. Second one is we live in economy which is digital. And I will elaborate what economy has evolved from agriculture to industrial evolution to internet to what we call them digital economy. Then they call it service economy. What does it mean? Again, we go back to, before industrial revolution, we were agriculture society, right? We didn't have currency. You give me milk, I will give you rice. That's the civilization we have come from. Then come industrial revolution. We build manufacturing, we build products. Now the next phase is what we call them service economy. And the easiest way to understand service economy is, and I will elaborate more, this is a cell phone all of you have, right? This is a product, this is a technology, but at the end it's about service. We sell services. You can get these things free. Product and technology are free. We sell services. So keep that concept of service. That's called service economy. To understand it further, Google is the largest technology company in the world. What does Google sell? No product, no technology, sell services. Facebook, sell services. So keep that context of our service economy, okay? And we talk about innovation. And innovation in there of open innovation. What's the difference between innovation and open innovation? So hopefully we'll get some discussions. So if you look at the service industry growth, these are some of the contexts, how we have come, where we have come from. We used to be labor-intensive economy. Everything was manual, right? We didn't have car, we didn't have airplane, we didn't have any tools. Then came Industrial Revolution. It brought the new economy called capital-intensive economy. And from there we came to, fast forward, computers created technology economy. And now computers and internet has given a new economy called knowledge economy. Google and Facebook are classic example of knowledge economy. Okay? So keep that context of how service industry, service economy has grown and where we have come from. What does digital economy mean? For a crowd like this, you guys are very advanced in the digital technology, so this is a no-brainer. Digital economy is the global network of economic and social activities that are embedded by platforms such as internet, mobile, and sensor networks. This is much more scientific definition of digital economy. Okay? The practical definitions all evolves from here. But that's the kind of foundation. We live in a digital world. This is a very interesting slide from Gartner. Personal life, professional life, community, family life, we are all surrounded by technology. We can't get away. So this technology is becoming a lifeblood. We breathe and live in this world. Okay? Then taking this forward, if we look at technology as a technologist, we had an era of mainframe, then came the client server, lasted for a long time. Now we are in a very interesting era, what we call the mobile cloud era, right? And that has created huge, unique opportunity, economically, professionally, personally, okay? So let me walk you through mega technology trends, what's happening in this quote-unquote cloud and mobile world, new world. So we live in a connected world. For obvious reasons I just explained to you. We have tons and tons of data coming from every possible sources. And everything is becoming intelligent and automated. Okay? So that's the highest level of mega trends. Connected world, tons and tons of data, intelligent and automated systems. Okay? That redefines our economy, that redefines our society, that redefines our world that we live in. Okay? And in fact, that's going to create new world, new business. All of us provides new sort of tools. And I will discuss about our own roles. Connected world. So we have seen from computers and internet to quote-unquote smartphones, tablets, right? That was then. Now, we are going into every single device will have intelligence. It's no longer just smartphones, and the Internet of Things will have, every device will have intelligence, and every device will provide data. That's the modern world. Okay? To be more specific, what's happening in this new world? Sensors, devices, networks, APIs, applications, and data. And I won't bore you with all the specifics. That just gives you the scope. How many sensors are in the world? More than 28 billion sensors, right? More than 25 billion, going to be 50 billion devices. Networks, 5 billion networks. 80% API is growing at a very, very fast rate. Applications, data, we call them almost 16 exabyte. So this is a new reality. This is a new digital world. Okay? And that redefines our lifestyle, redefines our economy, redefines our society. Okay? So, intelligence everywhere. From thermostat to cameras to cars to every possible device you can think of. They will all will have intelligence. The way we access our digital world is growing exponentially. So just to give you perspective, from 2010 to 2015, number of applications and mobile devices have gone through the roof. And again, this is just the beginning. 2020, these numbers will be much, much higher. Okay? IoT, Internet of Things. Again, I will not go into specific details, but gives you some sense of what's happening in the IoT world. The number of devices, the amount of data, okay? And that's, again, going to redefine many businesses, many technologies. Just to give you a sense, we have heard about big data, and we can talk about big data for hours, but this slide gives you kind of holistic view. What does big data mean, right? So this is our traditional, This is our traditional database data systems. Now we are into this stage. Data is growing through the roof, as I explained to you why, right? And we want to go here. Okay? And here are all these challenges. We live in a quote-unquote unstructured data world. 80% data we don't understand. Okay? How do we make sense out of those data? So a lot of work needs to be done, but huge opportunity. Okay? So we are coming from here to here. We are in this mess. We want to go here. Okay? That's the future of digital world. Again, to summarize those economy and society, just kind of put this in a pictorial form. We used to be agriculture society. It has gone down. Agriculture is still important, but relatively speaking, much smaller part of economy, right? Manufacturing used to be big. After agriculture, it has become smaller, right? Then came the IT world, service society, service economy. And now the new economy is called digital economy, which is all about IT-based services. Okay? So that's the future. That's what we want to focus on. Okay? The other important point, as I mentioned, about product versus service versus technology, those are all definitions. Now the real world is service is at the end counts. Product, service, technology, all integrated. So at the end, service is what matters. Okay? How great product, how great technology matters nothing. What it delivers, what value does it deliver, and that's the service. So that's called service economy. Okay? So, for example, this is Kendall from Amazon, and the Amazon CEO, Bezos, says that this is not a product, this is service. Because Kendall is just a platform for them to sell more services, more product, more business to you. So all these product and technology are becoming a media to deliver services. Service is at the end what matters. Okay? So we need to reorient ourselves. No longer product technology that important. What matters is the solutions and services. Okay? Those organizations and individuals, even people level, we need to go through this change all the time. And this data shows that 52% of the Fortune 500 companies are gone, right? Because they didn't change. Okay? And I can give you my own example. I have lived in Silicon Valley and I have seen the birth of Silicon Valley. When I started Silicon Valley, the king of the technology world, IT, was DEC, Xerox, Sun, Microsystems. Where are they? They're all gone. Out of business. Okay? Then came the new world. Microsoft, Intel, Cisco, they were the era of computers and internet. And where are they? They are going through midlife crisis. Okay? They're trying to figure out where to go. All of them. Okay? The new leaders are Google, Facebook, Amazon, right? So what does it mean? You need to reinvent all the time. The companies who don't reinvent, they will die. And not just company, individuals. We all, and I will share with you that innovation happens at individual level. We all have to learn new skills. In many cases, we have to unlearn what we have learned before and learn new skills. So I was just sharing some example of Google. Google company was formed. I know the founders of Google personally, Larry and Sergey. How it was formed, from A to Z, I have seen them, where they are today. So I'm going to give you an example of how Google is so different than any other company I have ever seen, okay? And how they run the business. A few months ago, you saw Google change their name to Alphabet, right? How many of you have seen Google change? Google is no longer Google Alphabet. Alphabet is the parent company. Google is part of it. Very bold and very small, a very intelligent move. A Google which became, in such a short time, the largest technology company in the world, and they were on the top of the world, right? They're still. And right at the peak, when there's nobody to touch them, they said, oh, that's not enough. We want to go do something else. Okay? So Larry Page says, he brings Sundar Pichai. Sundar Pichai is a friend of mine. He put Sundar Pichai head of Google, CEO. He said, I want to go focus on new things. Google must innovate new areas. Google has meeting every Friday where Larry Page goes to all his department heads and he gives this message to them every day, every week. Guys, we can't sit on our success. One success will not take you too far. We must go do different things. Every week, he reminds his people. And that's exactly what he did. He handed over the search business, which is what made them successful, to his one of his colleagues, Sundar Pichai. You go become the CEO of Google. I want to go focus on many other new things. Google must innovate. That's really bold move. No industry, no company has ever done this before. I have seen IBM, I have seen Intel, I have worked for these companies. And what they did, they were sitting on their success for way too long, right? Google changed their path when they were most successful. That's called bold, disruptive innovation, okay? People were scratching their head, what Google is doing. But these young kids, they're not afraid of anything, okay? Go talk to Larry Page. He's not there to make money and make names. He's about changing the world, okay? So, let's look at this technology field. And as I said, I'm a student of this, so I'm very closely connected to every technology, every business. So what you see here is, these are the new focus of technology. So if you look at the IT, and I have been part of IT industry from very beginning. As I said, I build transistors, I build microprocessors, I work for IBM Research or IT Service Solutions. There was a time where building transistor was the best in the industry. If you can build transistors, then at Intel, building microprocessor became the king of the hill, right? Then come the PCs and internet. Now, we have gone past that transistors and we are into this era. Internet, social, mobile, cloud, big data. These are the major IT domains. I call them digital domains. That requires all the focus, right? And these new domains are giving rise to these sorts of technologies and solutions. And these are going to drive these new businesses. Okay? So this is the economic paradigm. This is future scenarios. So that gives you a picture how these 4 or 5 things creating these new technology-enabled solutions and then creating new businesses. Okay? So this is the future. This is what we call them digital economy. So this slide, one slide gives you a whole picture of the digital world. And this is just the beginning. Okay? This is going to change the entire world, all of us, whatever we do. We need to reorient ourselves. Okay? This is a very interesting slide I put together. I think this also relates to people in Norway. What it shows here is rate of change of digital evolution at a country level. And this is how advanced these countries are and how fast they keep changing. So go back to this. Denmark, Norway, France, Finland has been advanced digital country for a long time. Okay? So that's the good news. The bad news is you have not moved fast enough in the innovation path. Okay? So this is something for you to think about, not think about, act. Okay? Finland, Nokia started a smartphone. Where is Nokia gone? Right? They invented a smartphone. Then came the Apple, took over and just killed everybody, right? Okay? And then come the Samsung and so on, right? So key point is, look at this country who were not that advanced before. They are driving innovation much faster than the country who were advanced before. Okay? So this is something very, very important for every country, every society. The key point is not necessarily how advanced you were, but how fast you continue on the curve of change. Okay? Okay, what is the digital economy? What does it take for us to succeed? Okay? And I think this is at, again, a very national level. They call it a readiness. Readiness means you must have all these stuff: infrastructure, content, affordability, skills, environment, business, innovation, regulations, and uses. How do we use them at a government, individual? So these are the ingredients of building digital economy. Now, I will urge all of you to apply these individually, organization level, at a country level. Okay? How ready are we? How are we on this curve? And I think we can see, and they are very loaded terms. When I say infrastructure, there are many, many things in infrastructure comes. Skills, that's even a bigger subject. Do we have the right skills to be competitive going forward? Okay? And many, many things. So again, these are just very high level topics. It requires much deeper discussions. But for this discussion, I just wanted to show you some of the key points. Okay? Digital innovation. Okay? So we talked about digital economy. What is innovation? Economic growth based on ability to innovate no longer is the competitiveness based on the ownership of land and materials and so on. So our our innovation capability at individual level is the basic main asset that we have. If you go back to the history, how much land how big your country, right? That was the way to measure your strength. Now, how smart people do you have? How innovative they are? That's your real asset. Okay? Not how much land you have. Okay? Look at Israel. Just a good example. A very tiny country. Okay? And I have many, many friends there. And that has become one of the very innovative startup ecosystem. Okay? So now the national capacity is not measured by the size and how much bank money you have and other things, but how many smart people you have. How fast can you innovate? So that's your basic strength. Okay? The subject of Open Innovation Lab fits into this very, very well. Okay? So I'm going to talk about innovation. And again, innovation is a very big term. And I'm an engineer. I work have in industry. I personally have not read many books on innovation because there are tons and tons of books, and I'm sure there are some good ideas, good input. But my focus on innovation is much more practical, okay? And that is here. We must innovate at individual level, okay? What does it mean? So if you go back 20, 30, 40 years ago, we studied one subject, right? My parents studied one subject and they worked all life the same subject, right? That's no longer true, okay? I had to study 3 subjects. I studied physics, electronics and computer science, and then management, right? And even now, I have to learn almost every day new things to be able to contribute. So gone are those days where you can stop learning. Learning is becoming a lifelong exercise, okay? So we have to innovate at individual level. At organization, every organization must innovate all the time. Either you innovate or die. As simple as this. And I gave you an example of the companies that I have worked before. They're all gone. They didn't innovate. And at the country level. So innovation agenda has to be at all these levels. Okay? How IT industry has evolved. And as I said, I have been part of the IT industry, and I can give you an example. IT industry back in 80s were vertical industry. Okay, there were a few big companies, DIC, Sun, IBM, they built entire stack of the IT solutions. Infrastructure, middleware, application, all came from 3, 4, 5 companies. That was the era of technology at that time, in 80s, late 70s. Then came the horizontalization of the IT, okay? Horizontalization means Intel builds microprocessor, Microsoft builds OS and Office, Cisco builds router switches, Oracle builds database and application. And go focus on few things and do it well. Rather than one company doing everything, you cannot innovate at every level that fast, right? So that's called horizontalization. So that created a huge innovation. We can build billions of transistors on one chip because there are only a few companies who were focused on the building chips, and some other company did different things. So that's called horizontalization of the industry. Now, the next one is what we call them incremental versus disruptive innovation. Okay, innovations have different dimensions at individual, organization, but this is even bigger. Incremental innovation gives you some marginal improvement, but bigger impact comes from the disruptive innovation. Okay, you go back and look at every major disruptive, like Google, redefined IT and became the largest company in the world from nowhere. That's called disruptive innovation. Okay? So think about disruption, not just only incremental. I'm not saying incremental is not important, but the bigger impact comes from disruption, disruptive innovation. I'm going to fast forward. Some of these slides talked about the different dimensions of the innovations, but I think these are very simple common sense. You need to understand the society, understand your resources and scientific skills, and then you deliver the solutions. But I'm going to focus on few important, for me, innovations has these 4 key ingredients. Okay? People, you need some process, you need some money, and you need some technology. Okay? But the most important part of this thing is people. Okay? If you have the smartest people, all these things comes to you. Okay? Okay? The VC will run after you. They will be chasing you if you get smart people. Okay? I have 2 children. I have a daughter and a son. Both have startups. Okay? And VCs are after them to give them money. They are refusing, though I don't want to talk to you. And they have already gotten a lot of funding. But just to make a point, okay? Go find the smartest people, and the rest will follow. Okay? Google and Facebook, they're all built by very, very smart people who were very driven. Also, I must say, let me tell you a smart versus having a personal passion. When Google guys were building this company, and I known them, so I was very skeptical because many search companies had failed before. Okay? And I think I told this story to someone. My daughter used to work with those guys when they were building Google at Stanford. And I told my daughter, don't go waste your time, work with these guys. Come and work for Intel. I was at Intel to build the microprocessor. So she followed father's advice, came to Intel. And she didn't take Google. And when Google went to IPO and become, so she was telling me how many hundreds of millions of dollars I owe her. So now she stopped talking to me for a few months, but then we became friends. But my point was, why they succeeded? Because I remember I used to talk to Larry and Sergey. I said, look, you guys are, many search engines have failed before. What makes you think they will succeed? You know what they said? They said, I'm pretty sure we will fail, but we are going to give our best effort, because the cause we are driving, the cause was organize world information and make it useful to people. And the world information is getting bigger and bigger every day. So something has to be done to organize world information and make it useful to people. That cause is what makes them successful. They were driven by the big cause. Okay? Then they came up with the PageRank algorithm. They had no business plan. You talk about having a business. They had no business plan. How they will make money, they have no clue. Okay? But at the end, it's all personal passion, vision about a cause that matters. Facebook, same thing. They wanted to connect the people. Okay? So if some of you are trying to build companies, find the right cause. Don't try to become, hey, I want to build a company, become rich. That's the wrong way to go build companies. Okay? So people, remember, go find the smartest people, you will succeed. Hang around people who are smarter than you. That's another idea. Okay? You learn. Era of open innovation. So as I said, innovation happens at every level, right? But if you look at the bigger things in life, all the big innovations have happened in open innovation. How Internet is the largest technology platform in the world. It is not owned by any company. It is open, right? It's owned by everybody, right? Okay? I can tell you, even in America, how semiconductor or internet was built. Government funded. The industry, government, academia partnership created all the big innovations. So a lot of big innovations happens because of open innovations. Okay, open innovation, all major innovation requires us to collaborate. Okay, individually, at the government and academia and industry. Okay? To take it further, look at mobile technology. Android was nowhere few years ago. Android is the largest mobile platform today, right? Thanks to Google, Apple has done a wonderful job in iOS. But if you look close to Apple iOS, it is not really, it has its own ecosystem. Apple works with its own ecosystem. They don't build everything themselves, okay? But if you look closely, Apple is now falling behind, okay? In the last quarter, after 13 years, they had a decline in revenue, okay? Their mobile products from Samsung and other Android-based platforms are taking over. So at the end, open innovation always wins, okay? Recently, I gave you an example. Elon Musk, you heard about electric car, right? And I think you guys use here quite a bit. He gave away all his IP, put it in the public. He said, I want everybody to innovate. Don't hide your innovation. That's a wrong way to innovate big things. So at the end, the key message is open innovation always wins, okay? So I think we have, how much time do we have?
10 minutes.
Okay, so let me, I know there's give me a few seconds. So I'm going to fast forward the different kinds of innovations. If you just look at how these companies are, how they innovate, every company has its own strength. So there is no one formula that applies to everything. Innovation has to be tailored. Innovation has to be focused, right? Okay? These are again entrepreneurship and innovation, how entrepreneurship works. This is innovation, technology push versus market push, right? So the key point here is, I can give you an Apple example, and I have worked closely with Steve Jobs. Steve Jobs, when we built product, he didn't tell anybody, even employees. He never asked a customer. He said, customer doesn't know what he wants. I will teach them how they need better product. So he relied solely on his own genius, right, to build product that the customer will love. But again, there's not always not always true. So there's always both sides. Technology pushes the demand, sometimes customer pushes demands. But you need to figure out, not everybody just Steve Jobs. Okay? I'm going to fast forward. I will post these slides. These slides will be available to you. So feel free to get hold of your organizers. They will give you a lot of materials. I'm going to, failures lead to success. All these guys were enormously successful, but they had failed in their life at many stages. Okay? The key point to understand, all these famous people, they had failed at many times, eventually before they became successful. So don't give up if you fail. Failure is just a step towards success. Okay? Okay, I'm sure some of you are educated. I'm also meeting with some professors. There's a big focus on entrepreneurship and education. Education, we must innovate, because this is where the people learn about skills, new skills. Look at all these top universities are teaching these courses and programs on entrepreneurship, how to build companies, how to build solutions, not just get a degree. Gone are those days you just get degree and you are successful. Nobody cares about degree anymore. What cares about what you know, what you can build. Okay? So focus on building things. Focus on solving real problems while you're a student. And that's going to be a big focus. I'm personally involved in many universities around the world to develop such curriculums. Okay? Entrepreneurship skill is not about technical skills only. It deals with the business and other skills. So technical skills is just part of it, but you must have entrepreneurs skills as well. Okay? Now, I think I have laid out the digital economy, some of the background, what's happening. Let me tell you what we are doing from SRII. This is an organization I created when I was research head at IBM, called Service Research Innovation Institute. And the purpose of this institute is to address many of the issues that I have highlighted in my talk. Okay? And our goal here is to drive digital solutions and services for major sectors of economy and eventually for a better world. Okay? And our members are industry, academia, startups, government from all over the world. Okay? Because they all have interest in this subject. What we want to do in service, we look at two focuses for service. One is service economy. Meaning of service is economy as a service. If you look service sectors, healthcare, finance, energy, retail, telecom, they all deliver services at the end. And they all deliver unique services. So we want to get a deeper understanding of those service sectors. And we want to look at IT as a service, cloud computing, big data, mobility. How can these IT as a service drive value to these sectors of economy? So that's the meaning of service in SRII. Okay? These are examples of the sectors I mentioned. If you look closely, they all deliver services. These are major sectors of a global economy, right? And IT is all these 4 or 5 things we talked about. These are IT domains, which we call them IT as a service. So basically, we are connecting all these things to this economy. Okay? We have summits and conferences around the world. We have a bunch of SRII focus group with subject matter experts. And then SRII also provides advisory and consulting services to organizations at the government level and also at organizational level. Okay? And these are our SRII chapters in different parts of the world. And formally, I am very pleased to announce Truls is also going to lead SRII Nordic, starting with Norway as our home base, and will build base, invite other Nordic countries to be part of this team. Okay? And this open innovation lab that you just talked about fits into this bigger scheme that we are talking about. Okay? These are our focus groups in SRII. We look at these subjects with the world-class subject matter experts who understands the business side and technology side of these subjects. So I will urge you to go to the website and learn about all the details. And we're happy to have you part of this structure. I'm going to fast forward how we look at healthcare. We look at healthcare in a holistic way. And eventually, our goal here is to drive healthcare IT architecture to address all the issues in healthcare. So we look at healthcare solutions from this health and wellness, disease management, and aging issue. And then how do we build architectural framework to address these subjects? So this is a slide which gives you SRII focus on healthcare, how we look at any particular sector with the help of technology. Okay? This is a cloud, service cloud. If you look at cloud computing, we want to build cloud computing solutions for major sectors of economy. Okay? How government runs. How can we help government with a better IT architecture and platform? Okay? This is, I just finished last week we had a big program in Silicon Valley at Computer History Museum on the agriculture. How can we help agriculture and farming community to be more productive with the help of digital technology? And not just produce more, but produce quality for a product. And how do we make sure the product is healthy? And also the waste management. A lot of food product gets wasted around the world. So again, every sectors we are trying to apply digital solutions to address those mega issues in those sectors. And again, we have world-class experts who work in the digital agriculture, we call AgTech. I will skip, these are some of our programs at the university level. We want to work with the universities around the world to make sure we develop entrepreneurship and the right skills. So these are the things we do in SRII. We have conference summits around the world. We have focus groups. We work with the government in helping them policy advisory services, and eventually we help with our consulting services to all the key organizations. So I think I have given you a very quick summary of the digital world, digital economy, what innovation means, what is open innovation, and then eventually what we do in SRII to address some of those issues that I just highlighted. So I'll be happy to, I'm not sure if you have any questions, the time for Q&A. If not, I will feel free to send me email. I'll be happy to respond and any questions. But please connect, and again, be part of this Open Innovation Lab that Truls just announced. And I will be, as Truls said, I'm going to be helping him as advisor, and SRII will be very involved. So hopefully we'll get a chance to connect with all of you. Thank you very much. Take care.